Well, good evening, soccer fans, and welcome inside Stevens Stadium and Buck Shaw Field tonight. It's an NCAA men's soccer matchup here on the WCC Network as the Santa Clara Broncos host the San Diego State Aztecs. Happy you would join us on this Saturday night from Northern California's South Bay. I'm David Gentili bringing you the action tonight. Jake Malloy is our camera operator for this evening's broadcast. Well, the 2019 season is young. We've got a couple teams that come in with 2-2 records on the year, and we've seen a lot of high score lines in games involving these teams thus far this season. San Diego State, 2.25 goals per match. We've seen at least 3 goals in all SDSU matches this season, including 5 goals 3 times when they took on USD, UNLV, and Detroit Mercy. Those are overall goals, by the way. For the Santa Clara Broncos, 2-2 on the year. Camrass Sign plays its 5th consecutive match at home to open up the season. Wins over Holy Cross and San Jose State, and 1-0 defeats against Missouri State and Grand Canyon. We expect to see a pretty high-octane, pretty entertaining match between these two teams tonight. They meet for the 3rd consecutive season, and it all goes down on the other side of the commercial break. This is Santa Clara Men's Soccer on the WCC Network. We welcome you back inside Stevens Stadium and Buck Shaw Field. About ready to get this one going. Santa Clara and San Diego State in an NCAA men's soccer matchup here from the Mission Campus, Santa Clara University. Starting lineup looks like this for 20th year head coach Lev Kirshner and San Diego State tonight. A lot of midfielders on this bunch. Max Watkin is the starting goalkeeper. Saw 7 matches last season behind Cameron Hogg. He takes over full-time, 1.95 goals against average in 3 matches thus far on the year. He has conceded 6 times this season. One guy to keep your eye on in the midfield, Pablo Palais, 3 goals on the year, including both goals in the team's last win over Belmont. That was last Friday, a week ago from yesterday, so 8 days ago, as the Aztecs defeated Belmont. Here's what it looks like for Santa Clara tonight. Broncos spreading the love. They have 8 goals on the season by 7 different players. The only man with multiple goals, Sam Agasti, is not in the starting lineup. He's coming off the bench, per usual for Santa Clara. In net, Guillem Badanez Mecho has put up some good numbers so far. A .78 goals against average, 2-2 on the season for the Broncos in about 350 minutes of match time thus far in 2019. Just about ready to get it started here. San Diego State in the primarily black kits, attacking right to left in our first 45. And Santa Clara in the gray and red, attacking left to right. We are underway here from Stevens Stadium and Buck Shaw Field, a pair of 2-2 teams battling here in match day number 5 for both of these squads. And Gingerly, good to see him get up, but man, about a minute into the match and well, you already have a guy take a seat. So Shu coming off here for Santa Clara. He's going to make his way back over to the center flag. And the Broncos had brought on Dylan Karuba for a moment. But even though it is early in the match, so you've got the option to substitute the player unavailable for the rest of the first half. Or you can wait and get him back into action on the restart. But one thing you don't want to do, especially early on, is play down a man for too long while you try and get an injury situation sorted out. So it's an early stoppage here. These two teams meeting for the third consecutive season. Two longtime head coaches, Lev Kirshner in his 20th season at San Diego State. Cam Rast, the former Bronco, in his 18th season. Helped Santa Clara win an NCAA national championship back in 1989. Beautiful night, a warm one here in Northern California, getting toward the back end of summer as temperatures heating back up. But this is perfect evening weather for a soccer match here at Stevens Stadium tonight. Here is Sakari Carter for Santa Clara. Back for Liam Anderson, true freshman out of Portland, Oregon, and Central Catholic, starting for the Broncos at center back. San Diego State will race down. This is Clark. Chipped one off of a Bronco player and out for a Santa Clara throw-in. Broncos unable to connect off the throw. They'll give it back here to SDSU. Thus far in the season for Santa Clara, 3-0 win over Holy Cross in the season opener back on August 30th. 1-0 loss against Missouri State. Thumped San Jose State 5-1 on September 6th. 8 days ago, and then fell 1-0 against Grand Canyon. So the form has been win-loss thus far for the Broncos. And well, they had overmatched, I think, Holy Cross and San Jose State in the wins. And Missouri State and Grand Canyon both got a goal in the first half, both very defensively organized, and did just a great job stopping wave after wave of Bronco attack in those matches. Here's Miles Stray, one of the seniors for San Diego State out of Point Reyes, California, the Maryland transfer. Number 13 was keeping watch on Camacho Soto there for a moment. So I'm booted all the way forward, and this is Sakari Carter, right back out of Seattle, and Ingram for Santa Clara in his sophomore campaign. Stray plays it on back. Watkin will play it with the feet. And after a bit of a scary moment there for the San Diego State goalkeeper, play it out. Now the Aztecs transitioning defense into attack here. That's Santa Clara's Emil Christensen. Boots one well away from trouble. SDSU looks to settle it down to the midfield, but the Broncos have it here with Javier Ruiz, and a nice sliding challenge by Matt Clark. Here's Keegan Kelly. Kelly working against Shu, trying to fly by Sakari Carter, and he'll draw a foul. Carter just trying to hold his post that time, and ended up clipping Kelly as he flew by. So the redshirt junior Kelly out of Baltimore, also a Maryland transfer, drawing the foul, and he's the man that'll take the free kick. Plenty of options to try and pick out in the box here for San Diego State. They'll come up to play it short. This is Kelly. Has to play it on through, but a good play by Santa Clara's Hendrik Kuhn, graduate student out of Berlin, Germany, and Gymnasium Pankatal. Done a really good job for this team as it's holding mid this year. Comes in playing at a really high level right away for the Broncos. Watkins, a redshirt senior from Malibu, California, donning the highlighter green tonight, well outside of his box. This one gets on back and headed down to Guillem Badanez Mecho. That's the Santa Clara goalkeeper. 5'11" freshman out of La Villavella, Spain, and IES Gilabert de Centelles. Here's Anderson. And playing on back to Badanes Metro. Been off to a good start thus far in his Santa Clara career. One thing we have not seen as of yet, and I mean this is a testament to the Santa Clara defensive effort this season, which was a big point of emphasis for the Broncos to clean up coming into this year. He hasn't really faced a ton of shots in any match this year. When Santa Clara controlling play against Holy Cross and San Jose State, like we mentioned, and even against Missouri State and Grand Canyon, those two teams sat back a little bit once they got the lead, so didn't get forward a ton. So we really haven't seen a match where Badanes Metro has been too busy in net. But again, if your goalkeeper is not busy, that is quite typically a good thing for your club. Christensen trying to play it to the middle of the park. Aerial challenge. It'll end up here with San Diego State. This is Tristan Weber, the Portland transfer out of San Clemente, California. Sophomore from just north of San Diego. Extended San Diego County. Get Oceanside, Carlsbad, and then a little bit up to 5, and you make your way up to San Clemente. So, relatively speaking, hometown guy for the Aztecs. Anderson picking out Camacho Soto, who controlled it nicely with the chest. Now plays it forward. Eduardo Lopez Perez scooping one to Nate Shue. He'll opt to take the space out wide. Crosses on from Shue. There's a header, and it's over the bar and out for a goal kick. Javier Ruiz on the effort that time, the junior out of Barcelona, Spain, and IES Leonardo da Vinci. Well, San Diego State versus Santa Clara is an exclusive presentation of the WCC Network on Stadium. For more live West Coast Conference broadcasts, features, and information, go to watchstadium.com and the official website of the West Coast Conference, WCCsports.com. This one is played on out and steady hands. That's the Bronco head coach Cam Rast. Showing his best keeper on a cross look there. Was able to catch up with Coach Rast earlier today. Get some thoughts on the opponent today, San Diego State. We'll get you those in a moment here. Flicked on by Kuhn. This is Shue. Heads it, controls it, and played out off of San Diego State. A couple of Aztec players were there, Kelly and Weber, and kind of had to see what Shue was going to do with that one after he popped it straight up. Put it with the outside of the foot by Weber, left for Sakari Carter to chase, and he will take a Santa Clara throw in here. Coach Rast saying San Diego State, and again, familiar with this team, and it's a veteran group too, so having seen them 3 years in a row, you have a pretty good idea of what to expect personnel-wise. San Diego State was trying to take that free kick quickly, and now time will be called for. After they won one back on the Bronco throw forward. It was a foul against Santa Clara. You can't be offside on a throw-in. That's a pretty long throw out the back, too, for the Broncos. Jeff Arthurholt is our head referee. Alex Marquand Wilsey and Isai Baltazar making up the officiating crew tonight. Broncos trying to find a little bit of pressure. That one was hopping, so Emil Schelker had to scoop it back for SDSU. And now they're going to play it all the way back to Watkin, and he should just get rid of this thing, and he will. Couple of aerial challenges here. Camacho Soto trying to fight through it, and he does. So the Broncos will win a free kick in an inviting spot. Coach Rast saying about San Diego State, active and mobile team that handles the ball really well. He said this is a good group up front, so it's important that we stay organized tonight. He said he felt like his team did a good job last season of getting at the back line of SDSU. Broncos got goals from, as the free kick comes in here, Christensen trying to chase it down and gets out for an Aztec goal kick. Said last season, 2-0 opening night win here at Stevens Stadium. Coach Rast felt like his group did a good job getting at the backs and creating some chances in that one. Here's Arturo Chavez, a sophomore from Lake Forest, California, and El Toro High School. It's all the way out here and up for a Santa Clara throw-in. San Diego State, we told you about some of these numbers in the open, but it has been a high-scoring match more often than not when the Aztecs have taken the pitch this year. And Eduardo Lopez Perez charging after that one for Santa Clara. Broncos win it back with Ruiz. Ruiz with the left, and that one's out for a goal kick. Well outside the box, got himself into a position to shoot pretty quickly. And it didn't end up being a chance, but you know, I'm always a fan of get your shots. Just try and get a feel for it early. It's going to take a really good hit to score from that distance. But I'm always in the mind of if you have an opportunity to shoot, unless you're passing up a really good chance or a really good advance, and just get that in, get into rhythm offensively. San Diego State on the move here. A chip out wide, controlled by Weber. Weber's cross is a good one, but it's sent away by Santa Clara. Anderson on the defending that time. Broncos have it with Camacho Soto. Excellent pass from Camacho Soto. Sets up Nate Shue. Shue going right at the defense. And just a miss hit from Shue that time. Had a good run, but how about that pass from Camacho Soto? Ran out of room, spun around with the left, and played Shue forward into space. And then Shue looked at it and said, well, it's about 2 of us against 6. He had Ruiz running in the middle, but did a really good job against numbers just sustaining his run. But ultimately a miss hit gives it back to SDSU. Miles Stray working with his center back mate, Dane Rosas. Rosas, a senior out of Ladera Ranch, California, and Tesoro. Mentioned this is an experienced group. And coming in with a 2.25 goals for mark on the season. That's 15th in the NCAA here in the young 2019 campaign through 4 games. Aztecs have 8 starters back from their group last season. Played back to Badanez Mecho. Broncos with it in the midfield. And now the offside flag is up. From the referee's assistant. So free kick for SDSU. Pass comes to the right side. This is Weber. Carter defending for Santa Clara. And Carter stabbing at it, plays it out. And it's a corner kick here for the Aztecs. Well, not much doing in the early part of this match between these two teams. 2 shots for Santa Clara. Both off target so far. No shots as of yet for San Diego State. We need to reopen that discussion about the SDSU numbers. We'll get back to that after the action off of this corner. Kelly serves it up with the left. At the top of the 18, sent off of Camacho Soto. It's a handball, and there will be, I believe, a penalty for SDSU. I think we saw the referee pointing to the spot there, and yes, it's a handball in the box. Chance at a penalty for the Aztecs. It'll be the captain, Pablo Pelais. setting up to take it. He's 1 for 2 on the season. SDSU 2 for 3 as a team. The Broncos have not faced one here in 2019. Police against Baranes Mecho. Chance just shy of the 15-minute mark. Here we go. Off the post. And we remain scoreless here in the 15th minute. Police had the right spot picked out. Dinked it off the inside of the post. No, that one was close. And that'll be a foul here against SDSU. And now a push, and that should be at least a card. You should at least be seeing a yellow card here against Keegan Kelly. And we will. So Kelly goes on a yellow here. Just a shove of one of the Broncos after the play. So he will go into the book, and that'll set up a free kick for Santa Clara. The push, that's Alejandro Barajas who took it for Santa Clara out of right here in San Jose and Archbishop Mitty. But a missed penalty by Pablo Police. So he's now 1 for 3 in that department on the season. And rung the inside of the right post. And there is a foul from Kelly. Contact through the back with Shoe. And good show of sportsmanship there. He goes over to help Nate Shoe up, and you got to be careful too. Just picked up a yellow card. Got to be aware if you're going to play aggressively and be physical. SDSU coming off a match against Detroit where it had to play down a man because of a red card. Two Broncos over it for the free kick. Barajas takes. High hooking far post, and that is a keeper's ball for Max Watkin. So the Aztecs got it into a crowded area, got the handball, unable to convert the penalty. So we're scoreless here in minute number 17. Now San Diego State will set up with the throw. Mac Clark taking it. Bringing it up the far sideline. A couple Aztecs trying to fight through some pressure here. This is Schelker. On for Weber. Weber surveying the pitch. He's able to get around Javier Ruiz. Great angle on that pass in traffic to find Police. Here's Chavez. Trying to slide on a 50-50 ball with Liam Anderson. Ends up with it again. And now San Diego State in some space. Here is Clark. Out into the wide areas. Cross is on. There's the shot and a save from Baranes Mecho. Aztec still on it here. Another shot and another save. Guillem Baranes Mecho turning away two well-hit balls in the Bronco net. And Santa Clara will be the ones to restart us here. Couple of nice hits. Balls with really good pace on them from SDSU. A good cross far post. The first opportunity was from Police. Baranes Mecho stretching out. And then the second one came from Keegan Kelly. It's been a good spell of possession for San Diego State over the last 3 minutes. Winning the penalty and then getting two good looks just a moment ago. But both efforts denied by Baranes Mecho in the Bronco net. Here's Camacho Soto. Plays a pass all the way out wide. Left-footed ball is in, headed away, well read by SDSU. Ruiz trying to control it. Here's Lopez Perez, controlled it with the shoulder. He has a go, and that's blocked out for a Santa Clara corner. Miles Stray, the senior, got a block to it, and this one is starting to open up. First quarter of an hour, not too much going on. Last 4 minutes, all sorts of looks. We'll see another one here off a Bronco corner. Off the left foot of Ruiz. One header on by Santa Clara. That'll get out for a goal kick. Well, if you see an outstanding play from the Broncos in this match, tweet a description of the play and use the hashtag TopPlayTuesday to nominate it for the West Coast Conference's Top Plays of the Week. Your submission might just make the difference when the WCC picks the best action from this week. We'll take a look at last week's action at halftime. Tonight and all season long, hashtag TopPlayTuesday. Might be seeing that effort from Badanez Mecho in the Bronco net just a moment ago. I can tell you one thing we'll be seeing for sure. You were watching last night Santa Clara women's soccer and a 4-0 win over the Arizona Wildcats. Kelsey Turnbow had an outstanding goal with the left foot from outside the box. One of the best ones we've seen all season. So we'll see if Guillem is able to snag a spot on TPT. Ruiz for Santa Clara. Leaving it back, he was working with Barajas that time. Throw in for SDSU. Kuhn flying through. Another throw in here for the Aztecs. Weber trying to work it up the line. A little West Coast offense here. And about 15 yards off of the last two throws. Nice pass to get it back here to Stray. Here's Rosas. Lays it forward, taken back by Hendrik Kuhn, but one again by San Diego State. Schelker. Trying to find some support, ran out of options, and just stuck a leg out, tripping up Barajas that time. Hard foul, but didn't look to be any bad intent there. But San Diego State, one thing I like that I've seen from the Aztecs in this match, they're winning those balls in the midfield. And when they're getting into space, just going direct, going right at it. Quickly getting organized and turning things into attack. That one came down off of Liam Anderson. That is a handball against the Santa Clara defender. With Tevin Rue, the junior out of Davidson, North Carolina. It's all the way back here to Santa Clara's goalkeeper, Guillem Badanez Mecho. 22nd minute of action on the WCC Network. David Gentili with you on the call. Jake Malor is up top, running the camera for us tonight. 4 shots apiece, 2 on frame, and that one flurry from SDSU. No shots on frame as of yet for Santa Clara tonight. Taken back by the Broncos. Kuhn settles it down. And they'll play it out for Carter. Long driven ball in from Carter, headed away by Miles Stray. So Carter will get set up to take the throw in here for Santa Clara. And that one ends up out for a San Diego State goal kick once again. University Credit Union invites the Santa Clara University community to join the top 1% and bank with your brain. UCU, guaranteed to give you the financial edge you deserve. A lot of the offense has been set up on the left side of the attack through Weber for San Diego State in the early going. I think the Broncos have gotten some good things out of their midfield early on. Long bouncing ball controlled in the back by Santa Clara's Alejandro Perez, sophomore out of Roseville, California, and Jesuit High School. And Lopez Perez back for Kuhn. Lifts one. Controlled on the far side, but knocked out off of Santa Clara for an SDSU throw-in. Here's Weber. A lot of room to work with, and he's taking it. Got an option out wide. He'll cross it on, deflected off the Broncos, and played out off of Emil Christensen for a San Diego State corner. All right, we told you we'd come back to the numbers. First match of the season, 3-2 loss for SDSU against the USD Toreros. And they went on the road against UNLV, won 3-2 there. Beat Belmont 2-1 before falling to Detroit 3-2. Kelly's corner. Headed down. I think the Broncos got contact to that. Went safely into the arms of Botanez Mecho. Get confirmation on that in a moment here. 5 goals in 3 of 4 matches overall for the Aztecs this season. And 3 goals in the other one. So that's 18 goals in 4 matches between San Diego State and the competition. 4.5 goals on average per match this year. Those are some lofty numbers. Rue for Kelly. Back into the midfield. Schelker taken down by Lopez Perez. Free kick for San Diego State. Aztecs looking at one here. This is just north of 40 yards out. They'll chip one in, one header down, and cleared away from trouble by Santa Clara. Nate Shue back in defending against a wall of Aztec players. Walken will settle it down here. Broncos not looking to press the Aztec goalkeeper. Header for Anderson. Aerial challenge falls at the feet of Carter. Now good read that time to win it back for SDSU. Rosas. Pass to chip one in the midfield. This one taken back by Javier Ruiz, and that will be a yellow card. As well it should be. Ruiz winning it in a good spot that time for Santa Clara. And that is Arturo Chavez. So Kelly is already on a yellow card. Chavez will be now, but that was a good play to stop Ruiz from running free. If he's not held up, he's moving forward, and the Broncos have numbers in on the Aztec goal. So Chavez doing what he had to do that time, and he'll go into the book for it. 26 minutes of action here. Broncos free kick in a similar spot to the one we saw a moment ago. Christensen trying to get there and cleared out of danger as Anderson will come back for Santa Clara. Give the Broncos an opportunity to bring on a couple of substitutions. Preston Manthe is into the match for Santa Clara alongside Dylan Karuba.
Number 17, Preston Manthe. Number 27.
Nate Shue will take a seat,
They are into the game.
as will Alan Camacho Soto.
And Alan Jonathan.
Karuba, a senior out of Morgan Hill and Bellarmine College Prep, 6'1", 180 pounds for Santa Clara. Listed as a defender, but he's playing high on the right side here. Heads one in, trying to pick out Manthe, redshirt freshman out of Las Vegas and Palo Verde. Manthe's got a goal and 2 assists in his debut campaign with Santa Clara here in 2019. Found by Lopez Perez that time. Just got a grab to Emil Schelker out of Holviken, Sweden. And Malmo Borgascola Aztecs will play the free kick on the ground. Weber forward to Chavez. Now Kelly over to Schelker, who hits it sky high here. Carter got a header to it. Controlled by the Aztecs. Running after it here is Adam Vargas. Now Schelker. Cross from Vargas. Headed down by Christensen. Karuba running all the way back over, and a nice pass forward and well taken here by Manthe. He'll try to scoop one. Didn't have a lot of space, but able to use it. And now the Broncos have a free kick and a chance to move forward here. 6 shots, 4 on frame for San Diego State tonight. 4 shots, all of them off target for the Broncos in this one. 4 saves for Guillem Badanez Mecho. What's been a hotly contested first half. Not too much to report out of the first 15 minutes, rather. We did see a missed penalty opportunity from Pablo Pelaez for the Aztecs. Picked the right side, or the correct side, I should say. Chose the right from the shooter's view. Badanez Mecho for Santa Clara guessed left, again from the shooter's view. And it rung off the inside of the post and missed. It was a handball against Alan Camacho Soto. And then a couple of minutes later, Badanez Mecho making a couple of good stops as Pelaez and Kelly were bearing down on the Bronco net. Anderson to serve. Curling in and headed away by San Diego State. Miles Stray, it's a combination of reading the play well and being good in the air. And he's one of the bigger, stockier guys you're going to see out of the center back position. 6'1" and 200 pounds. Barajas serves one up. Christensen trying to get there. Flies on through it and out for a goal kick. The WCC Network is the West Coast Conference's home for exclusive live broadcasts, on-demand content, and championship coverage, all free of charge. That includes all Broncos soccer home matches and road matches in conference play. Catch all the action on your smartphone, tablet, computer, or connected TV. The WCC Network brings you all the action, anytime, anywhere. Just past the half-hour mark here of the first half. No score thus far between Santa Clara and San Diego State. David Gentili, happy you would spend part of your Saturday evening with us tonight. Here on the call with you, and Jake Malore is up top running the camera for us this evening. Aztecs on the move. Here's Clark. Back for Chavez. And they'll settle it down all the way back to Watkin. Made a substitution just a moment ago. They brought on A.J. Valenzuela, the senior out of Tucson, Arizona, and the Pima Community College transfer. And that means Emil Schelker will take a seat for the rest of the first half. Aztecs controlling it well in some tight spaces. Barajas coming up with it for Santa Clara. Ran out of room and sent out for a San Diego State throw in here. Throw played over the top of a couple defenders. Now chipped on, headed down by Santa Clara. Out wide for Ruiz. A little bit of contact against Manthe. He wins a throw in for Santa Clara. And the Broncos will make a couple of substitutions. Terrell Smith will come into the match for Santa Clara alongside Sam Agasti. And Javier Ruiz and Eduardo Lopez Perez will take a seat.
For the Broncos, entering the match match number 3, Terrell Smith.
Smith, the junior.
And number 6, Sam Agasti.
Canadian international out of British Columbia and Burnaby Secondary. And for Santa Clara, Agasti out of Seattle, Washington, and Lakeside leads the Broncos with 2 goals this season, 2 of the 8 tallies. Broncos have conceded 3 times on the year. San Diego State, 9 goals for, 9 goals against through 4 matches this season. Karuba. Fancy footwork by Weber. And here's Valenzuela. Agasti got a punch to it. Preston Manthe. Back for Agasti. Controlled it, shot it across, and the Broncos can settle into the attack here. Scoops one through. Karuba turns the corner. Karuba had a hit to it, and it looked like he was muscled down that time. That'll be out for a goal kick. I think that's one of those where if it's outside the 18, that's a foul given to Santa Clara, but you usually need to see quite a bit more to give away a penalty on something like that. But the Broncos winning one back not too far from goal. And set up well that time. And some good reinforcements to bring off the bench. Agasti, who's had a nose for goal early on this season. And Smith, who has lightning quick speed. Set up the Broncos for their first goal. Set up Manthe for it. And the 5-1 win over San Jose State earlier this year. He'll be one of the fastest guys on the pitch. And one of the cool parts about that, in terms of bringing speed off the pitch, is you let everybody run around for about the first 33 minutes. And then you've got a guy who is completely fresh and ready to go into the match. So if the Broncos get the opportunity, watch for Smith on the far left side of the attack in the midfield right now, for them to try and play him forward with some speed. Weber's got time for the Aztecs. Centrally here, or Chavez, couple passes away. Weber now lifting one down the line. Kelly could not connect with Valenzuela. Offside flag is up here. Manthe in an offside position for the Broncos. Sets up a free kick for SDSU. I'll play it over here to Chavez. All the way out wide on the far side. Booted out. Santa Clara wins it back here. Christensen will be over there for the throw. 22nd meeting all time between these two teams. Santa Clara's got the upper hand, 12-7-2. Mentioned that these two teams have met up in each of the last 2 seasons. It's been the home team to take the victory both times in that matchup. Broncos here in the season opener last year, 2-0. Getting the win over the Aztecs. And Ruiz with a late goal to clinch that one for Santa Clara. Flying in on a header on the goal off to our left side. And a couple seasons ago, San Diego State 3-0 at home. Tevin Rue had the match winner, and didn't take long for him to get it. 2.5 minutes into that one. Anderson serves it up. Headed down and away from trouble. There's a boot from range, and that'll get out for an SDSU goal kick. And then Jeroen Meefat with a couple of second-half goals for San Diego State back on October 21st, 2017. That was a tough part of that season for the Broncos. They were 2-11 at that point on the year. Santa Clara after the quick restart. Preston Manthe. Cleared high in the air by Weber. Karuba heads it to the middle. Here's Chavez. Either team able to keep it right now. And a reading of Karuba, patient there as he was working against Weber. And Carter lifting one to the middle. Good play by Kuhn to stab at it and flick it on. Sets up the Broncos here on the far side. Crosses on, and that one too far and too high from Terrell Smith. You need your clothes cleaned quickly and at an affordable price? Get all your clothing cleaning needs with University Cleaners. That's right, University Cleaners. Minute number 39. Goal kick for San Diego State. We've seen the momentum kind of slowly build from the beginning. And we saw all that action between about the 15th minute and the half-hour mark. And then it's kind of slowed back down here in the late part of the first half. Here's Anderson. Now for Christensen. Broncos still no shots on target as we hit the 40th minute of this first half. San Diego State had a missed penalty from Pablo Palais, the All Pac-12 performer, back in the 15th minute. Karuba on the wing, and he will win a foul here for Santa Clara. Was working against Tristan Weber that time. So the Broncos will be able to set up. Play one similar to a corner kick here, just a little bit shorter distance, a little bit farther off the flag. So you've got an option if you can just hit this one dead straight to try and line it up with somebody. It's an outswinging ball headed down. Terrell Smith is there, and Smith scores it for Santa Clara. First goal of the season for Terrell Smith on the free kick, served up by Preston Manthe. And found its way into the box for Santa Clara, eventually shuttled on to Smith, who got it with the left and put it away. So Smith scoring here for Santa Clara. And that is his first career goal in 31 matches with the Broncos. So Santa Clara getting a late tally. Minute number 40. Smith on the goal to put Santa Clara up 1-0. I'll look and see if we get anything in the way of assists off of that goal. I would think, just replaying that one in my head briefly, that should be the case. Now Santa Clara getting the breakthrough goal here in the first half. Aztecs working with it in the back. Chavez drops it back. Rosas lifting one forward. Down in the Bronco midfield, they'll get it back to Anderson. It's Badanez Mecho, so those stops earlier in the first half looking that much bigger for the Santa Clara goalkeeper. This one sent forward and out of play. The Broncos seizing the momentum. late on in this first 45. And no less on their first shot on target for the match. So making the most of that one on a good finish by Terrell Smith. Attempted clearance deflected, scooped up by San Diego State. Now Barajas for Santa Clara. All the way through the defense. Didn't quite have the last move, but set himself up in a good spot. And something that's not easy to do, to hold your run and make your way into the box. Karuba's got it here. Karuba's cross. That one is chested away and cleared by the Aztecs.
For the Broncos, his first goal of the season, number 3, Terrell Smith.
Emil Christensen plays it forward for Santa Clara, headed down by Tristan Weber.
17, Preston Manthey.
Well, if you can hear our public address announcer, Phil Simon, Terrell Smith with the goal. Sakari Carter and Preston Manthey on the assist. Sliding challenge there from Carter. It's it to Manthey. Trying to play a through pass. Agosti chasing after it and whipping through the defense, but Max Watkin is there for the take. So 3 assists on the season now for Manthey. And Sakari Carter picks up his first assist of this 2019 campaign. Free kick coming San Diego State's way here. First career assist for Carter in his 22nd match. So a lot of time as a center back last season. Got an opportunity to get involved a little bit more in the attack, working as an outside back. So a free kick for the Aztecs. Just over 60 seconds to go here in the first half. Broncos establishing the wall here. Looking at maybe 30, 35 yards out. And go direct, and that one well off the mark and out for a Bronco goal kick. Well, tickets for Santa Clara athletic events are on sale now. Go to santaclarabroncos.com/tickets or call the ticket office at 408-554-4660. 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. Chad, Jesse, and Buck are excited to help get the ball rolling on your next Bronco outing.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Countdown is on here, and the half will end with the ball at the feet of Dane Rosas. We've hit halftime here on the WCC Network, and the Santa Clara Broncos leading San Diego State 1-0. Here's a look at some of the first half numbers. 6 shots, 4 on goal for San Diego State. 6 shots, 1 on goal for Santa Clara. 4 saves for Guillem Badenez Mecho in the Santa Clara net. None for Watkin on the San Diego State side. 12 fouls by the Aztecs to 8 for Santa Clara. 2 corners apiece. Santa Clara whistled offside for 1 time. San Diego State not whistled for offside in the first half. Terrell Smith with his first career goal for Santa Clara from Sakari Carter and Preston Manthey in the 40th minute. So Smith getting on the scoreboard for Santa Clara. 2 shots apiece for Javier Ruiz and Hendrik Kuhn for the Broncos. And Pablo Palais leading the way with 4 shots for San Diego State. He was involved at the center of one of the other big plays of the first half. A 15th minute missed penalty that kept it scoreless. And some 25-odd minutes later, Santa Clara takes the lead on the goal from Terrell Smith. Well, we've hit halftime here on the WCC Network. Coming up, we're going to take a look at the best action from around the West Coast Conference from last week as we show you Top Play Tuesday. We'll get a look at the West Coast Conference out-of-town scoreboard and get you set up to come back for the second 45 minutes of action. Broncos lead this thing 1-0 at the half over San Diego State. You are watching Santa Clara Men's Soccer on the WCC Network.
Asu. Great save there from Mary Lake, who gets it over the net. And Eschenberg blocks Hilda Young. What a sequence of events there for BYU.
Looking for options back for Gio. The shot and the goal.
Golazo from the Pilots. Good read from the Torero goalkeeper. Amber Michael came out to punch it free on the slide. It rolls out to Valdez, cuts it back, edge of the 18. Valdez a shot, and Valdez an absolute rip to the back of the net.
Oh, she swings into the block, recovers, and back. Another cover by the Aggies. Downing popping it up, and another swing from Sosa ball. This time it's on the Pilots side. Popped up Williams, who's going to send a free ball over and reset. Bye-bye, pushing this one back to the outside. Sosa ball swings into the block, and this one drops down, and that'll be a point for the Pilots. It's now 13-4.
Well, inches into the 18. Sends it back. Here's DeQuilla. One more pass over for Smith. And Skylar Smith scores it. 2-0 Broncos.
Talbot goes to Dunn. Dunn cuts it back. Left-footed shot. Davis with the save. And then another shot. And Christensen on the end line. Still in bounds and finally cleared. Back-to-back saves.
Good job holding up by Handy. Now plays Werner in behind. Werner gets on the end of this one for the Lions. Fires a shot and in. Madison Werner in the 62nd minute puts the Lions ahead 1-0.
Virgilo slots it to the right. One-on-one with Weir, and Matt Weir comes up with a save.
Back at halftime here, Stevens Stadium and Buckshaw Field. David Gentili with you for Santa Clara Broncos soccer on the WCC Network. Broncos leading it 1-0 at the half. Broncos getting a 40th minute goal, his first in a Santa Clara uniform, from Terrell Smith. It was Preston Manthe who had a free kick on the right side in the flank. Passed it on to Sakari Carter, who had a really nice header on the play. He was just right at the penalty spot, falling away, flicked it down forward and diagonally to the left, and then Smith came crashing through and got it on a roof effort. Had to put it over the stretch of Max Watkin, the goalkeeper, who was coming over. So Smith able to finish for Santa Clara, and a really nice goal for the Broncos to get the breakthrough and get the 1-0 lead at the half. Here's what scores looked like around the West Coast Conference yesterday. This is our only match here on a Saturday night. So in Friday's action, St. Mary's continuing its impressive run, defeating Cal State Bakersfield 3-2. Loyola Marymount at home 3-0 over Sacramento State. San Diego blanking UC Davis 1-0, and Pacific falling to UNLV 2-0 at home. Plenty of action coming up tomorrow, and of course, for those matches where the West Coast Conference team is home, you can catch the action right here on the WCC Network. Gonzaga will be on the road to take on Cal Poly. Sacramento State on the road taking on San Diego. San Francisco Dons hosting UNLV up on the hilltop, and LMU hosting UC Davis. Portland will be on the road against Wisconsin, and then we round out the weekend on Monday at 7:30 with the Pacific Tigers hosting Cal State Bakersfield. Well, thus far in 2019 in West Coast Conference men's soccer, San Diego off to one of its best starts in program history at 5-0. The Toreros are going to be one to watch out for this year, and St. Mary's is also 5-0 on the season. LMU, the other team that came in today with a winning record at 3-1 on the year. Portland Pilots 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw. Santa Clara 2-2. Old Pacific and San Francisco 1-3, and Gonzaga 0-5 to this point in the 2019 campaign. So that's how it looks for the West Coast Conference out-of-town scoreboard. Here's what's coming up on the near horizon for Santa Clara men's soccer. The Broncos enjoying a spell of playing their first 5 matches of the season at home here at Stevens Stadium. They will take on Utah Valley in Las Vegas next week on Thursday, and then stick around to face UNLV the following Sunday. It's a 5-match road trip in all. Evansville, Lipscomb, and CSUN also part of that road trip. So they'll head out to the Midwest, and then in October, when the calendar flips, October 5th on the road at Northridge, before the Broncos welcome St. Mary's to start off conference play on October 12th. That is going to be a big one here at Stevens Stadium. And then Pacific on October 19th, home against San Francisco and San Diego, and then on the road against Portland, Loyola Marymount, and Gonzaga. That's the Broncos slate coming up here in 2019. We're going to take another break. We'll come back and get you ready to roll for the second half. Broncos leading 1-0 on the 40th minute goal by Terrell Smith. This is Santa Clara men's soccer on the WCC Network. Getting set up for the second half of action here at Stevens Stadium and Buckshaw Field. Santa Clara Broncos and the San Diego State Aztecs here on the WCC Network. Santa Clara is already lined up, huddling up just to the right of the middle of your screen and ready to go. And San Diego State, the majority of the Aztecs just coming out of the locker room with about a minute to go on that countdown clock. Let's take a look at the first half statistics. 7 shots for SDSU, 4 on target, 6 shots for Santa Clara, and 1 on frame. That was the 40th minute goal by Terrell Smith. You can see the corner numbers even for both of these sides. A few more fouls for San Diego State than Santa Clara. And not too surprising to see. This is a team that's known for being pretty aggressive, trying to take it to the opposition. Did pick up a couple of yellow cards in the first half. Keegan Kelly and Arturo Chavez are in the book for SDSU. So that's what the first half stats look like as we get ready to head to the second 45 minutes of action, with the Broncos on top 1-0, wrapping up this 5-match homestand here tonight. Well, both of these teams, ones that you are used to hearing about in the lore of the NCAA tournament. 9 appearances overall for San Diego State. They were the 1987 NCAA national finalists and last appeared in the tournament in 2016. Last time they made it before that in 2006. 1969, 81, 82, 87, 88, and 89. That great stretch in the late 1980s. And then back-to-back tournament appearances in 2005 and 2006 for the Aztecs. Broncos, of course, we mentioned that NCAA national championship won back in 1989 with current head coach Cam Rast on the Bronco roster. Played the now defunct sweeper position for that Santa Clara team. Now, these are both teams that have good backbones and good traditions of finding their way into the postseason. And as of right now, you look at about the last decade for both of these teams, been working to trying to get back to that. (20 NCAA tournaments for the Broncos, 12 West Coast Conference championships to boot. Santa Clara's last NCAA tournament, 2015. Remember that great run that Santa Clara had at the end of the year to win the West Coast Conference crown, culminating in a 3-0 win over the San Diego Toreros here at Stevens Stadium. And that was the match. I remember calling that match and thinking it was going to be an even one coming in, but Santa Clara really dominated the Toreros, who were also in the mix for a championship at that point, as was San Francisco playing on the hilltop. A fun year to look back on. Got a 3-0 tournament win in Fullerton before falling 3-1 against Stanford on the road in the second round. One 0 as we get into the second half here tonight. And the big moments of that first half. A couple of yellows for Kelly and Chavez. Of course, the goal from Smith. And the missed penalty by Pablo Pelais. One of the go-to guys for this San Diego State team. The overall leader in goals with 6 last season. Tied for the team lead with 3 assists. Led the group with 15 points. Converted both penalties he took a year ago. He's 1 for 3 from the spot this year. And you know, Pelais is the guy getting the ball in that situation and just missed it by pegging it off the post. Pass is played on through. Long run here for Anderson. And he's able to get it away from trouble. Here's Dane Rosas. Plays it for Matt Clark. Over to the top of the attack. Tevin Rue. Out wide for Valenzuela, a first half sub. Turning the corner, playing one in on the ground. Easy clearance for Emil Christensen. Nice dribbling that time from Valenzuela. You don't see a lot of guys at 6'3" playing in the midfield, but that's the case for him. Goes up into the air. Sent away by Barajas. Here's a go from range, and Badanez Mecho's got it. Not a bad hit that time from Police. He was just so far out. You're going to need a wonder strike to score from that kind of distance, or I suppose a big-time blunder from the keeper would do it as well. So that is Police's 5th shot of the match. Came into this one with 17 shots on the year. No other Aztec had more than 10. Throw-in comes into Chavez, and he'll play it back. This is Miles Stray. Well, had a really good goal off the Santa Clara free kick. We kind of recapped it for you at halftime. One flicked on, taken back here by Santa Clara. Broncos working with it in the middle of the park, flicked forward, sent out wide. Now all kinds of space for the Broncos to work with. Diagonal pass back to Christensen. Long pass forward. Headed down, controlled by the Aztecs and played away by Police. And it was a free kick off to the right side of the 18-yard box. Sent in by Manthe. And Sakari Carter again in the area of the penalty spot, falling away. Really good play to flick it on, and Terrell Smith just came flying through. Took a stab at it and put it in the top part of the netting for the Santa Clara goal. Pretty good way to get your first career goal for Terrell Smith as his role continues to expand. He's done some really good things for this team off the bench this year. And earns himself a goal in the first half. Camacho Soto taken to ground by Matt Clark. And a free kick coming up here for Santa Clara. Emil Christensen, the sophomore from Denmark. So there's one up to the edge of the box, falls down to the 18. Agasti's there for Santa Clara. Agasti tried a little give and go with Ruiz, and that one will be passed on back to Watkin, and able to get it out over the sliding advance of Agasti. Sam Agasti for Santa Clara, one of those guys with really fast acceleration. And he can keep his speed up when he's changing directions on the runs. And there's certain guys that are out there, you just look at them in short space and you say, man, I would not want to be in front of that guy. And I think Agasti's one of those guys for Santa Clara. He'll commit the foul that time. A little bit of grabbing as Chavez tried to advance it for San Diego State. And Agasti, team leader with 2 goals on the season. So that means with Terrell Smith scoring, he becomes the 8th Bronco to tally on the year. 8 Broncos for 9 goals here in 2019. San Diego State in a crowded area. That will be a handball given against Tevin Rue. Free kick coming up for the Broncos here, minute number 53 of action. For the Broncos, here are the goal scorers this year. Julian Bravo, Javier Ruiz, Preston Manthe, 2 for Sam Agasti, Alan Camacho Soto, Martin Utgardasen, Dylan Karuba, and now Terrell Smith. Broncos will play it on back here. Played down into the midfield. Out of the back line and sent on back. Here's Badanez Mecho. Had a couple of good saves in a first half flurry. Efforts from Pablo Police and Keegan Kelly. Nice back heel flick for Ruiz. Gets it to Camacho Soto. But it's picked off here by the Aztecs. This one chested down by Barajas. And Alejandro leaves it for Sakari Carter. The Broncos switch the point of attack to the near side. A lot of room for Alejandro Perez. Crosses on and headed away. Ends up outside the box, and header just flicked on there by Keegan Kelly. Emil Christensen stepping forward, trying to keep it going for the Broncos, but San Diego State able to get possession here. Santa Clara applying some pressure. And the Broncos will win it back. Kuhn fighting forward on a 50-50 ball. Chavez wins it back on a sliding effort. Now Kelly is taken down, and that's going to be a yellow card. Slowing down the move forward. And it will be, I believe, Hendrik Kuhn for Santa Clara. Aztecs were in some space there. And got the run forward, and it's too much from the side. And no ball that time from Kuhn, so he will go into the book. Third player to be booked in this match. Kelly and Chavez are on yellows for San Diego State. Now Kuhn on one here for the Broncos in the 54th. The creativity by the Aztecs here, switching it up before serving it in, but that'll get out for a Santa Clara goal kick. Now, San Diego State versus Santa Clara is an exclusive presentation of the WCC Network on Stadium. For more live West Coast Conference broadcasts, features, and information, go to watchstadium.com and the official website of the West Coast Conference, WCCsports.com. My name is David Gentili. Happy you're joining us for this matchup of the West Coast Conference and the Pac-12 in Santa Clara and SDSU. Broncos and the Aztecs meeting up for the third consecutive season. Aztecs win this one back in a good spot here. There's a left-footed go from range, and that one is well off the mark from Keegan Kelly, and out for a Santa Clara goal kick. And Jake Malore up top running the camera for us tonight. San Diego State will make a couple of substitutions. Lakoa Santos, who we did not see in the first match, redshirt sophomore, or first half rather, out of Waikoloa, Hawaii, is into the match. And the Aztecs also bringing on Austin Wenner, freshman forward out of Roseville. So Santos and Wenner coming into the match. Looks like Wenner will step up to the front line alongside Kelly. And Santos will be playing all the way out on the far side. Far left side at the front. Aztecs, couple players in the middle of the park, pretty spread out along the front line, trying to take advantage of the width of the pitch. Pass with the heel. Flick through. Down off of a shoulder by Liam Anderson. Now Police is on it here. And I'll give it back to Santa Clara. Agasti shuffles it through the midfield and ends up at the feet of Ruiz. Man, too much on that pass from Ruiz. He had space, he had time. And he mishit it trying to pick out Alejandro Perez running up the near side. That one is out. Throw in coming back. Now we go Santa Clara's way here. And you can see the two lines running parallel to each other. The darker of those two lines was the setup for the women's soccer match last night. You got a little bit of flexibility as far as what you can do with the field. It's about, oh, maybe 2 yards. Skinnier on either side of the pitch when the men come out and play, and that is something that does make a pretty big difference. Some juggling that time from Camacho Soto as he tried to keep it. So many players in a crowded area. Ends up here with Agasti. Turns around, plays it back. Barajas Over to the right side for Carter. That one opened up some space for Santa Clara. This one swung in, driven in, but dealt with by Rosas. Now back out to Carter. Takes a pass on a great flick on. Carter has a go, and that's blocked by Stray. And it will get out for a Santa Clara corner kick. Nice work on the combination play from Dylan Karuba and Sakari Carter. And a beautiful flick on by Karuba that set it up, and Carter surveying things for a moment. And I like that he just had a go there. Was in a good shooting position, bested by the block. 6 Broncos looking to get on the receiving end of this one. Christensen lifts one back, one header on, and Watkin is off his line to grab it for SDSU. Looked like he was going to launch it out the back for the moment, and then decided just to roll it out the back. Here's a lofted through pass headed down by Liam Anderson. This one taken back by Austin Wenner. Is Police. Now for Clark. Back here for Police, couldn't quite get a hold of it. And Agasti takes over for Santa Clara. Has Karuba on his right, trying to open up some space for him. Karuba settles on it for Santa Clara. Watched here by Stray. And the Broncos will settle it down. They've got numbers forward, so Carter can serve up a long ball. His pass. And Santos deflecting it. And flyby foul that time against Santa Clara. Free kick coming up here for San Diego State. Police off the free kick. He's been heavily involved in the shot efforts tonight for SDSU. And also one of the guys who will be far back when this team is looking to build up. So definitely somebody that covers a lot of ground with what he looks to do for establishing this attack. Broncos are going to bring Preston Manthe back into the match, who will take the place of Alan Camacho Soto. Manthe with a first half assist, along with Sakari Carter on the 40th minute tally by Terrell Smith. That one comes in from Anderson on the far side. We are past the hour mark here at Stevens Stadium in Buckshaw Field. David Gentili with you for Santa Clara men's soccer on the WCC Network. Broncos just keeping that one in as Hendrik Kuhn makes a charge forward. Now for Manthe. Manthe around a couple defenders. Manthe's shot is blocked, gets through, and Watkin able to stop it. But Preston Manthe can work to get into the box, but San Diego State well positioned to block that one down and stop it from being a real threat. The Aztecs have scored multiple goals in all 4 games this season coming in. Nothing doing here tonight, but that has not been for the lack of offensive chances. 9 shots, 5 of them on target. Couple of good saves from Guillem Badanez Mecho, a missed penalty kick in the first half. That would have given them the lead right about at the 15th minute mark tonight. And Santa Clara got the goal from Smith. That was their first shot on target of the first half in the 40th minute. So it has been pretty evenly matched between these two teams. And definitely has lived up to the billing of a matchup that we've been looking forward to. Badanez Mecho plays that one at the feet, and he's able to scoop it up. So slipped a little bit, didn't control that one quite like he wanted to. This one flicked on back off a header, so Watkin will be able to pick it up if he so chooses. Because that pass was served back, Badanez Mecho able to get to it and secure it for Santa Clara. Would have been a different story if he wasn't able to play it with the hands that time. Now some short passing for Santa Clara. Agassi plays in Karuba on the far side. Karuba turns to the middle. That one deflected away, and Santa Clara wins a corner kick here. So you've got this big lead for the Broncos, and unlike the Holy Cross and San Jose State matches, or I beg your pardon, I was thinking about those two matches. I don't know if you can ever call 1-0 a big lead, but I digress. 1-goal lead against a good offensive side. This is a good early season test for Cameron Rath's group. See if they can hold on to that big 1-goal lead. Played in on the ground here. Carter trying to get there. Sent out for another corner. Broncos will have their 5th corner of the match here. Brought that one into play low. And now Manthe will step away and they will leave it back. Switch up the taker with Barajas. Floats one in. Kuhn trying to get there. And Kuhn able to corral it for the Broncos. Alejandro Perez back for Badanez Mecho. Well away from the pipes here. Trying to dribble it himself for Santa Clara. Could lead to some trouble as San Diego State almost had a free run. And Badanez Mecho is going to be called for the foul here. That was a clear chance on goal. This might be a straight red card. And that's it. Guillem Badanez Mecho's day is done. And you could see his frustration. The Bronco keeper is off on a red. He tried to play it and dribble at the feet. It's something we've seen him do. And this time, that's a big mistake for the Broncos. So now they are down a man. They'll have to bring in a new keeper. In the 64th minute of action. Mark down that time. SDSU goes up a man. So now the Broncos got to figure out who's going to come off of their outfield players, and it'll be Dylan Karuba. So now Henning Jolivet comes into the match. Redshirt junior out of Humble, Texas, and Nimitz seniors. Only seen 15 minutes on the season, and not big minutes at that for the Broncos, but here's a guy who played in 7 matches, logged almost 700 minutes a season ago for this team.
Now the game for the Broncos in goal number 1, Henning Jolivet.
So Jolivet for Santa Clara will take over. And I believe it was Santos that time that drew the foul, applying the pressure on Badanez Mecho, who dove, kind of got a swipe at the feet from behind, cutting one down on a clear chance. So you don't give up the goal, but you're down a man because of it if you're Santa Clara. And now San Diego State have a free kick from quite a ways out here. So Jolivet takes over for Santa Clara between the pipes. San Diego State will have a free kick for Pablo Palais. Aztecs were on the wrong end of a man advantage last time out, and this time they'll be on the right end of it. And let's assume no other reds. Have it for about 26 minutes. Chipped in off the free kick. Header is on, and Jolivet there to take it for Santa Clara. And big celebration from Emil Christian. You know, that's one thing I never can get used to seeing. When the keeper wrangles it in and his teammates come over and giving him high fives when he has the ball. Call me cautious, but I always just get a little leery seeing that. Never know what might happen, especially if you're giving a fist bump or a chest bump. Preston Manthe here for Santa Clara, and he'll win the Broncos a corner. Well done with 2 defenders bearing down on it. So 10-man Santa Clara here against San Diego State, and the Broncos will call Julian Bravo off the bench for the first time tonight. Sophomore out of Claremont, California, and Claremont High School, as Santa Clara gets set up to take a corner here on the far side. Broncos will play it short. They'll leave it back. Here's a go from range. One deflection through for Bravo, and Bravo knocks into Watkin. And it'll end up as a free kick, and Watkin was saying, I'm good, just let me play the advantage and play on here. But our head referee, Jeff Arthurholt's coming over to say, now we're going to have to restart this one as a free kick. Santa Clara is down a man. Guillem Badanez Mecho, the Broncos' starting goalkeeper, picking up a red card in the 64th minute. So the Broncos tasked with trying to defend this one out against a San Diego State team averaging a little more than 2 goals a match.
The Aztecs entering the match are number 2.
So down a man and down to your second string goalkeeper. But again, Jolivet, a guy who has good experience in his Santa Clara career. Perez strikes it all the way forward for the Broncos. One deflected off of one Bronco. Took a pretty good hit to Barajas that time. As Jolivet plays it well away from the Santa Clara goal. Left on through. Manthe trying to chip it forward. Offside flag is up. Javier Ruiz in an offside position for Santa Clara. So will the Broncos be able to defend this one out? This one headed on by Bravo, took a little bit of contact. It will end up with Matt Clark. There have been quite a few chances in this match for San Diego State to make something happen. This one played on through for the Broncos. Anderson looking to chase after it, and that will end up as a free kick for Santa Clara as Wenner came sliding through, and now Austin Wenner will go into the book. Third booking of the day for San Diego State. 5th overall in the match. Wenner here in the 68th minute. Kelly and Chavez are also on yellows. Hendrik Kuhn on a yellow for Santa Clara, and Badanez Mecho picks up the red for the Broncos, so that means he will have to serve a one-match suspension. Now Santa Clara gets set to hit the road for the first time this season. They'll play a neutral site match against Utah Valley in Las Vegas coming up Thursday night at 7:30. By the way, we talked about the matchup that San Diego State had against Detroit last time out. Hunter George for SDSU picked up a yellow in the 70th minute. What a wild match that was. Goalless at half, goalless until about the hour mark. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. Aztecs were on the move. Playing with the man advantage here. Here's Clark. Sends it across to Stray. A little bit too much on that one and was not able to keep it in. Broncos will have a throw in. AJ Valenzuela got the first goal of that match in the 58th. And then following the red card, Jake Reitzloff and Ryan Halloran scored in the 76th and 83rd. So San Diego State down a man, down a goal in the 83rd minute. 1 minute and 9 seconds later, Tevin Rue got his second of the season. And then only 57 seconds after that, Ben Algarabali scored the match winner, or what went on to be the match winner, from about 30 yards out. That was a wild contest between the Aztecs and the Titans. 3-2 win for Detroit Mercy, resulting in both teams going to 2-2 on the season. Here's Police. Shifts it over. This is Esteban Zepeda, redshirt freshman from Lincoln, California, in Lincoln High School. Cross is on from Spencer Madden, and that one will go all the way across and get out here for a Santa Clara throw-in. So a couple of changes for San Diego State, trying to shift some personnel and take advantage of being a man up here.
Substitution for the Broncos, number 7, Nate Shue, is back in the match.
So they'll bring Nate Shue on, get a fresh set of legs in at the forward position. Throw-in comes in here up the far side. Police. Back over here. There's going to be a lot of room for the backs to work with. Zepeda slips one through. Played forward, controlled here by Manthe, and taken back by San Diego State. Madden. Senior out of Dana Hills and Dana Hills High School. Aztecs now with it on the far side. Chipped on. There's a flicked header and off the bar. And out for a goal kick. Austin Wenner came that close to tying it up. And the post has not been San Diego State's friend tonight. Penalty in the first half, hit off the post. That header from Wenner off the post. 18 and a half to go until we hit the full 90. Flick down into the midfield. Now controlled by Chavez. Shue stepping over for Santa Clara. We'll play it away from danger. And now Zepeda's on it. There's Police. Slips it through. Good find for Kelly. And now on for Madden. Late sliding challenge. That should be a yellow card, and it will. So another one is into the book here. And this time it is Santa Clara's Julian Bravo. We have seen 7 cards overall in this match. That is also something that's worth keeping an eye on late. Somebody picks up a second yellow. It would either even us back up at 10 or give San Diego State a 2-man edge. Kelly, Chavez, Wenner for San Diego State are on yellows. Kuhn and Bravo on yellows for Santa Clara. Beg your pardon, 6 cards, not 7 here tonight.
Broncos substitution number 4, Damani Osai is into the match.
Tristan Weber, Spencer Madden. Weber sets up and just misses near side. Well, Madden came over, just flicked it forward on the free kick. Weber got a good head of steam going toward goal. Nobody really standing right in front of him for Santa Clara to stop that quick run. And that just missed wide of the near post. So things are heating up here between San Diego State and Santa Clara. Damani Osei into the match for Santa Clara. Osei coming flying through here, making his way into the box. Crosses on and blocked down. Some appeals from a handball for Santa Clara. Broncos frustrated on the bench. Looking to get a little extra bump being down a man here. And a good run that time started to push forward for Santa Clara. Got Osei on the ball in a good spot. Now San Diego State here. Weber, long pass for Madden. Tried to control it and could not. It'll be a Santa Clara throw in here. And this is a case where the end of match tactics and some time wasting, playing down a man, you're going to see that a little bit earlier than you might normally here in Santa Clara's position here. That one flicked on by Kuhn. And booted high into the air by Barajas. Alex Akramowicz is in here for Santa Clara. And a long boot away. That one will give a throw back to SDSU here. It's been a physical match. 31 fouls in total. 16 for San Diego State, 15 for Santa Clara. Some hard challenges have led to those 6 total cards, including a red for Santa Clara's keeper, Guillem Badanez Mecho, who was outside of his box trying to play the ball with his feet. Back in the 64th minute with Lacoa Santos in the area. Santos won it back. Badanez Mecho had to dive to stop him from walking one in. Cost him his spot in this game, but well, had to do it at that point after giving it away. Couple of headers here for the Aztecs. Played forward, this time at the feet of Kelly. Tries a long through pass forward. As Christensen defending there for Santa Clara, and a good hustle play to stop that from being a goal kick. And make it a throw in for Santa Clara deep in its defensive third. So the Broncos, as you might expect, and dropping that second player up top. Just trying to keep 8 in the midfield and defense area with 10 out on the pitch total. Free kick coming up here, and you can hear the words from some of the San Diego State side saying urgency. Let's pick up the pace a little bit. 2 Aztecs over the ball. They're going to leave it for Weber to take. Now 5 options in the box here. Weber set to serve it up. One header, and that one is in. We've got the equalizer from Keegan Kelly here in the 76th minute. And a little acrobatic on the celebration for Kelly. San Diego State has knotted it up at 1. Nobody really within the general area of Kelly that time. Service came in, and that is a really nice header from Kelly. Was just left of the spot. About 10 yards away from goal. As Damani Osei getting here for Santa Clara. And that one played away. Good defensive work from Esteban Zepeda. And just an excellent header that found its way into the side netting. It's really hard to put a ball from that far away with that kind of location. Comes down off the Santa Clara corner here and will be played out. Last off the San Diego State Broncos will have a throw-in. So one played all the way forward, headed down by Christensen. So now 10-man Santa Clara. About 12 minutes after the red card, conceding. So San Diego State now scored in all 5 matches on the year. So the play that led to the red didn't lead to a goal right away, but it did when it came down to it. It's Kelly from Weber. Weber gets the assist, his first of the season, and Keegan Kelly picking up the first goal of this redshirt junior campaign.
Tristan Weber. The goal came in the 76th minute. Again, for the Aztecs.
Throwing here for Santa Clara. Akramowicz looking to get there. Ends up at the feet of Madden, and he'll play it on forward. And now I think if you're San Diego State, good time to try and keep the pedal to the metal. Broncos trying to hold it here with 10. As this one is played across. Shu trying to leap to get to it. And Weber will chase after it. Forward for Santos. You can try and keep the pressure on here, but you don't want to relax too much. And now Henning Jolivet will just have to play that one away. Jolivet and Christensen in the area with Austin Wenner bearing down. Wenner, who had that header that hit the bar a moment ago. This one served up. San Diego State playing with quick tempo and with the outside of the foot and cleared by Christensen. And Damani Osei just able to keep that one in play. Now Osei working his way around Zepeda, and he'll win a free kick for Santa Clara. So Keegan Kelly, redshirt junior out of Baltimore, and the transfer from Maryland. That is his first goal in an Aztec uniform in his 12th match with San Diego State. Does have 4 career assists. And now we're going to see time called for, and I believe it's for, okay, moving the ball away for the free kick there. I thought for a moment like it might be taking a little bit of time off the clock from our head referee, Jeff Arthur-Holtz. And now Barajas is going to try and move it forward, and I think he's going to have to move it back. So some discussion as to where the foul occurred. Santa Clara is getting this free kick off of. Of course, it didn't end up being the case with the time wasting, but and now Lev Kirshner is talking to the referee's assistant, the San Diego State head coach. So the clock was at 79:22. Stoppage was called for, so they take 7 seconds off. So 79:15 on the clock, as you can see at the top of your screen. 10-man Santa Clara led this thing 1-0 until the equalizing goal. Keegan Kelly from Tristan Weber. Service curling away from the top of the box and headed away from danger. Now a long ball is played in, and Watkin gets there and goes to ground. Little side somersault that time, and he'll get it back into play here. So play back here to Clark. And now for Palice. There's a long one forward. Controlled by the goal scorer, Kelly. And it'll be a free kick. A little bit of grabbing that time from Alejandro Perez in San Diego State. Set up in a good spot here, and now I don't know if the clock restarted after that last Santa Clara free kick. So the referee and the referee's assistant having some words here. Well, of course, the referee's got time on the watch here, so referee always keeping the own time. That's the fail-safe here. The scoreboard is operated, just for your information, over on the press box to my left. That is not directly connected to what the referee controls. That's a start and stop up here. So referee going to the watch and saying, we need to add a little bit more time here. So that's what we're going to see. It was frozen at 79:15. Well, the scoreboard is directly connected into our stat system, though, so anything you see at the top of the screen is being adjusted over in the press box. So if it stays at 80 on the nose, it'll be an addition of 45 seconds. A lot to sort out here, but I think we're good to go. And give us exactly 10 minutes to play here in the second half. And Santa Clara down a man after a 64th minute red card for the keeper, Guillem Badanez Mecho. Police fires it in. Flicked on through and got through two guys, and he'll get out for a Santa Clara goal kick. And now stoppage once again as one Santa Clara player is down on the pitch and looks to be in a good deal of pain, at least from what we can see from up here. I believe that is Hendrik Kuhn holding his right knee. The Broncos and the head coach Cam Rast is coming out to have a look at him. Long sleeve gray hooded sweatshirt making his way toward the middle of your screen. So Kuhn being attended to here. He's able to get up and walk off, be it a little gingerly under his own power here. Gives us a chance to tell you about the Bronco Athletic Fund, created to provide all Santa Clara student athletes with the resources necessary to compete for championships and succeed in the classroom. To make a donation and learn how your gift impacts Bronco athletics, visit santaclarabroncos.com/Bronco Athletic Fund. Minute number 81 here after a couple of lengthy stoppages. Henning Jolivet in net for Santa Clara. Taking over for Badanez Mecho. And just an outstanding headed goal by Keegan Kelly. Knotted us up. And Camacho Soto will push with the forearm that time. He fouls Kelly, and it's a free kick for San Diego State. They'll take it on the ground here. Get it started quickly. Zepeda shifts it along. Police has it going. It's punched away by Jolivet. And he gets up, fired up. Big stop from the Santa Clara keeper to keep us level at 1. It'll be an 82nd minute quarter here for San Diego State. Swung on in with the left. Headed down, loose in the box, and Jolivet's got it. Wow. Stretch save with the right for Henning Jolivet to deny Pablo Police. Big stop with Santa Clara down 1. Man, that is. One man. Playing with 10 here, not one goal. Broncos bring it to the near side. This is Osei. He's had a couple of good runs here. Damani Osei's cross is blocked down. Controlled by San Diego State. Aztecs will look to build it out the back. This one all the way out to the far side. Sprinting after it is Santos. Played out, and that will be a San Diego State corner. Now the red card that Badanez Mecho picked up for Santa Clara. This is the 5th Bronco match of the season. We've seen him come close a couple of times as San Diego State is on the move here. Put in with the left. And out for a Santa Clara goal kick. Now, yes, it will be out for a Bronco goal kick. Thought we were seeing a stoppage for the referee to redirect that one. Terrell Smith will come back into the match, and he'll take the spot. Or Osei, who had a couple good runs forward for Santa Clara in the last few minutes. And again, a handful of times early in the season that we've seen Badanez Mecho who is very confident with the ball at his feet, make a couple of plays that did not come back to hurt him and the Broncos. Remains to be seen what happens here tonight, but at least at this point, Santa Clara conceding a goal after going down a man, and he'll also miss the next match. One played out wide. Santos in some space again, being watched by two Broncos. A little dash dribble into the box, slid on through, and last off, Lovelakoa Santos, and out for a Santa Clara goal kick once again. San Diego State continuing to feed its number 7 on the left side. But I think it'll serve as a good lesson. And, you know, oftentimes it's, if you're flying a little close to the sun, a little too close to the sun, it's making a big mistake like that one that you can really end up learning from. And then go on and say, well, this is why I won't be too creative outside the box anymore, and just try and clean that up because of that play that happened against San Diego State. One thing I really like, get the chance to sit down with the Bronco head coaches a lot. I'm going to pull one from the legendary women's head coach, Jerry Smith. He said, I don't mind making mistakes throughout the course of the season. I just don't want to see the same mistakes happening more than once. Learn from it and move forward. And, you know, whatever the result is tonight, I think that'll be the case for Guillem Badenez Mecho. Had a couple nice saves in this one for Santa Clara. Wenner. Now one-man support in the middle. Good strength that time from Wenner, getting around a couple of Broncos. And Aztecs continuing that tempo. Trying to get quick restarts, or at least showing a look at it that time. Now off the restart. Crosses on, headed away by Santa Clara. Back at the feet of Kelly. Plays it out wide. This one skipped in on the ground. Scooped out for a San Diego State throw. Back for Stray, and he'll get it on back to Zepeda. Being watched by Camacho Soto up top. And Camacho Soto, one of the guys playing the forward position. Your work rate increases significantly when the guy who's normally on the other side of you is now off because you're playing down a man. Kelly with the left, and another save from Jolivet. And out for a San Diego State corner. He took a step or two forward, did Henning Jolivet. And then was able to backpedal and use all 6'4" of that frame to put that one out. Corner here for San Diego State. Left-footed effort, and that will be high of the bar. And out for a Santa Clara goal kick. $15 shots now, 9 on target for San Diego State, 9 shots for the Broncos, 3 on target in the match. Nate Shue will take a seat, and Dylan Karuba will come back in for Santa Clara. If you're a fan of free soccer, we can tell you that only one of these teams has been to overtime this season. That was San Diego State at UNLV back on September 2nd. Broncos have not had an overtime match this year. And boy, doesn't that come as a welcome relief early in the season for a team that played into OT 8 times in 17 matches a year ago. Alejandro Perez take the throw in for Santa Clara. Less than 3 minutes from free soccer if we don't see a tally before then. Definitely be a positive for Santa Clara to get to OT, especially because Jolivet has come off the bench and made a couple of big saves. and preserve this one. You always need a little bit more out of your keeper, as you expect to face quite a few more shots, and those numbers have gone up significantly for San Diego State since going to man up. One little flick on Anderson, trying to get there. Good pressure that time by Austin Wenner. Aztecs win a throw. Police. And wide for Santos. Returns it to Police. Left-footed shot, and that one's out for a corner kick. Took a deflection, and it looked like it was Kelly that time. And he's going to get up on his horse here to set up for the corner. Knotted up at one with 90 seconds to go. Kelly's corner, hooking near post. One flick on and punched away by Jolivet. And knocked out, deflected off of Santos. And it'll be a Santa Clara goal kick. The Aztecs are zeroing in right now on that second goal. Can Santa Clara hold them off? Jolivet got into a good position. That one
remaining in the second half.
Had skipped away, and it looks like it might have taken a deflection off of a Bronco before Jolivet came out to handle it. Camacho Soto, run forward for the Broncos. Sustaining it, and a win a free kick. 90th minute here, and time will be stopped. So the Broncos, 39 seconds until full time, with 10 men. And Barajas standing over it. What does Alejandro Barajas, the San Jose native, have for us here? He'll go direct. Ooh, and it's just wide. Wide by about a couple of feet. Not a bad hit that time from Barajas, and that would have been a little smash and grab action for Santa Clara if they could have gotten a goal there. But relatively well struck that time from the right foot of Alejandro Barajas. San Diego State plays a long one forward. Slid down here, deflected. Back with the Aztecs. Less than 10 seconds to go. Broncos knock it forward into the midfield. Camacho Soto boots a long one. Terrell Smith sprinting after it for the Broncos. Smith is on it here, and a diving save at the last. This match is something else right now. We're going to overtime. Wow. We told you about the speed of Terrell Smith. You see it there, and he had a shot in the dying seconds of the second 45. Max Watkin coming up with a huge save for San Diego State.
At the end of regulation, it is 1 goal apiece. We'll have a 5.
I think we need a break.
Woo,
take a chance to settle down. Take a breather. Let the heart rate come down. We've got free soccer coming up. First goal wins on the other side of the break. Santa Clara and San Diego State. I know you're not going anywhere. We're here on the WCC Network. Well, after a much-needed breather in what has been a wild second 45 minutes here at Stevens Stadium in Buckshaw Field, we are back for the start of Golden Goal Overtime. David Gentili with you for Santa Clara Men's Soccer on the WCC Network. Jake Malore up top capturing the images for what has just been a crazy match ever since San Diego State went up a man in the 64th minute. Here's kind of a brief summary of how it's all gone down tonight. First big opportunity in this one was for Pablo Palais for SDSU in the first half. Hit a penalty kick off the right post and missed it. Squandered a chance to give SDSU the early lead, and then San Diego State getting a goal from Terrell Smith, or the Broncos rather, beg your pardon. Santa Clara getting a goal from Terrell Smith in the 40th minute of this one from Preston Manthe and Sakari Carter. And then Guillem Badanez Mecho out of the Santa Clara net, was playing it with his feet. The goalkeeper gave it away to Lakoa Santos and had to try and trip him up to stop the San Diego State attack. He picks up a red card, and then the Aztecs got on the hunt. Keegan Kelly scoring off the assist from Tristan Weber in the 76th minute. Henning Jolivet off the Santa Clara bench comes in, makes a couple of huge saves to stop San Diego State from tacking on. And then with a few seconds to go, the Broncos play a long pass in for Terrell Smith, who shot it with 89:58 on the clock after sprinting down the left side, using all the speed he had in his arsenal, and it was stopped away by Max Watkin. Broncos very nearly got one in the dying embers of regulation. So that's all led up to now, and what better way for this one to finish than with Golden Goal Overtime. Call it what you will, golden goal, sudden death, sudden victory. Next goal wins. We'll play 2 10-minute periods, and if we don't see a goal after 20 minutes of action, then this one will end as a 1-1 draw. But I've got a sneaking suspicion that's not going to be the case tonight. Fun match here this evening. A Saturday night spectacle here on the WCC Network, and it rolls on into overtime. Santa Clara, San Diego State. Both teams at 2-2 on the year. Match day number 5 for each of these sides here in 2019. And Wenner will draw a foul here for the Aztecs. They are 1-0 in OT this season. Got an OT victory at UNLV in the second match of 2019. Santa Clara has not played an overtime match as of yet this year. Keegan Kelly leaves it off. Pablo Palais had a bevy of shots in this one. And then on down, Terrell Smith forward for Camacho Soto. Palais from distance on the carpet and out for a Santa Clara goal kick. The man who got that golden goal for San Diego State against UNLV is Hunter George. George picked up a red card in the last Aztec match against Detroit Mercy, so he is unavailable tonight. Going back to last season, SDSU, a win, a loss, and a draw in 3 overtime games. Santa Clara, 8 OT matches on the year, including 3 of the first 5. They were 1-5-2. Tough start to the season, so close. In a lot of early contests, fell against UAB, VCU, and Missouri State in OT. Got their first OT win at Cal here at Stevens Stadium on September 22nd. And the only win in overtime for Santa Clara in 8 matches last season of the 17 overall that went there. Wenner comes down with it. Drops it back. First time cross is on. Header is flicked on. And out for a Santa Clara goal kick. '64th minute red card has had San Diego State 11 against Santa Clara's 10 for stretching into about 29 minutes now. And the Aztecs up to 18 shots, 10 on frame. The numbers reflecting that. And just objectively, for any team at this point in the match, if you're able to hold it off, if you're able to get it to overtime, a draw here would be a good result for Santa Clara tonight. But even down a man, this team has enough attacking talent and guys that can fly forward on the counterattack. Camacho Soto with it here for the Broncos. Dribbled all the way through traffic. Still able to keep it. Crosses it here, but nobody home that time. Good look for Camacho Soto, but just couldn't find the avenue to try and put a shot on net. Through pass. Wenner. Marking against Hendrik Kuhn. Good to see him back in the match after he was down earlier. Wenner plays it out off of Kuhn for a San Diego State corner. And 2 10-minute halves. Next goal wins. No goals after 110 minutes will result in a draw. Left-footed service on the cross, headed away by Christensen. Weber settles it. Taken back by Santa Clara. Good play by Camacho Soto. Broncos could have a break on the counter here. Through pass for Karuba. Smith flying in. Karuba back onto the left. He'll leave it back. Anderson is on it here for Santa Clara. Anderson crosses one and just out of the reach of Watkin. And Terrell Smith unable to keep it in that time. Well, there was the counter-attacking look for Santa Clara. That's probably going to be your best bet. Try and break out the back, and Terrell Smith, who's got the Bronco goal in this match, his speed is something to watch.
17, Preston Manthe for Alan Jonathan Camacho Soto.
Broncos will call Preston Manthe in, send Alan Camacho Soto to the bench. Header back into the midfield. Controlled here by San Diego State. Here's Vargas. Vargas with the right, and it's stopped by Jolivet. Another big save from Santa Clara's Henning Jolivet. Collectively for Bronco keepers, it is 10 tonight. And Jolivet will play it out the back here. Broncos look to settle it down. This is Carter. Now controlled in the midfield by Barajas. Brought back down by San Diego State. Good sliding challenge and recovery for Santa Clara. Five saves for Jolivet since entering in minute number 64. Badenez Mecho had 5 for Santa Clara also tonight, including a couple of big stretch saves from Jolivet as well. Great move from Vargas to get around Perez. And too much on this one as Wenner was chasing it down. Both teams will make a swap. Demaniose back in for Santa Clara, and AJ Valenzuela will come into the match again here for San Diego State.
Substitutions for the Broncos. Number 4, Demaniose.
A wild sequence that got us to overtime.
For Terrell Smith.
It's always fun to see a couple of teams squaring off so consistently in non-conference play. Third straight year that Santa Clara and San Diego State have met. Broncos would like for the script of the home team winning this one to continue. And of course the Aztecs want to flip that one on its head. Vargas for Pelice. Hampus Bergdahl swings it out wide to Zepeda. Now Bergdahl will take it back. Didn't see him too much early in the match. And played out for a throw-in. Bergdahl, the Syracuse transfer out of Karlshamn, Sweden. Perez for Santa Clara. Taken back by Kelly. Up for Police. Trying to slip one through. But recovering that time was Kuhn. Now Zepeda. Police again. Told you about some of his shot numbers. He has 9 on the evening. And 17 on the season coming into this one. So nearly half of his season's total in one match here tonight. Police on it again. Plays one into the box with the left. Trying to run back on it here. Still loose in the 18. And Santa Clara wins it back and able to clear it away. Police was looking for Wenner, who's had a big impact on the bench here in the second 45 tonight. And involved at the top of the San Diego State attack frequently. And then down into the midfield. Hampus Bergdahl scoots one across to Weber. Bergdahl takes the return pass here. Vargas. Zepeda. One more for Bergdahl. And the Broncos holding tough here. And a minute and a half until we hit the 100-minute mark at the end of the first OT. And one's blocked out of play. Corner kick coming up for San Diego State. A lot of tall options to pick out in the box. Weber and Vargas coming over for the corner look. Shot on the ground, deflected, hit the side netting and out for another corner kick. Shot that time coming from Adam Vargas, the San Diego native. Now left back, Keegan Kelly. Cross on with the left, the header, oh, and it's pushed wide. And Austin Wenner was in a fantastic position to put the match to bed. And he sent it wide to the far post. I think the Aztecs are going to continue to get some looks. But I think you're going to be hard-pressed to find one that good. Great service. Wenner was all by himself just inside the 6-yard box.
5, 4, 3.
It's Preston Manthe for Santa Clara.
0.
Dispossessed, and that brings us to the end of the first overtime. Two teams all knotted up in one. Wenner moments ago very nearly had the header to win it. Was in a really good spot. And Jolivet kind of pinned in the net and just sent it out wide. So Santa Clara will try and scrap for 10 more minutes here in golden goal. Next goal wins. We'll take a 1-minute break and come back and see how it all wraps up between Santa Clara and San Diego State. Thrilling NCAA men's soccer match here tonight on the WCC Network. On to the second OT here at Stevens Stadium in Buckshaw Field. San Diego State and Santa Clara here on the WCC Network. David Gentili with you on the call. Jake Malora up top running the camera for us here tonight. thrilling match between these two sides. The Broncos got a goal from Terrell Smith in the first half. Took a 1-0 lead into halftime. 64th minute, Santa Clara's keeper Guillem Badenez Mecho outside of the box. Tried to play it with his feet, turned it over, ended up fouling Lakoa Santos, cutting down a clear path to the goal, picking up a straight red card, and Keegan Kelly putting one away for SDSU in the 76. Broncos able to slow the pace down a little bit in that first OT, and Austin Wenner, with less than a minute to go, was in a really good spot inside of the 6-yard box. Nobody around him to try and put it away. Misfires on the header. So we head to a second overtime. Next goal wins. Next team to score will take this one. If we go 10 minutes without a goal, it will end up as a 1-1 draw. And again, for the Broncos, playing down a man now for the better part of 36 minutes. If we get to that 10, they will have gone more than a traditional half's length of soccer. Down a man, only having given up one goal and slowing down a flurry of chances from a high-powered San Diego State offense. Came in averaging 2.25 goals per match in 4 matches here in 2019. They've got 21 shots tonight. 11 of those Aztec braces on target. 11 shots, 4 for the Broncos. 5 saves for Santa Clara's second-string keeper, Henning Jolivet. Here's Damani Ose for Santa Clara. Looking to play it forward. Now Christensen on it. Bronco goal scorer Terrell Smith, who had a chance to end this thing with just seconds left on the second half clock, starts this second period of OT on the bench. And if he's fit to go, we should be seeing him back in at some point here. Weber into the midfield. On for Palice. Sends it out wide. Aztecs taking advantage of the space by that vacated forward spot. Sliding play, hustle from Emil Christensen to send it out. Now the throw-in comes into the box. Good find here for Kelly. He'll play it out wide. And that sliding challenge sends it out. Broncos flying to the ball right now. I know it's going to take a big effort to try and see this one through. Kelly tried to get it down into the box out. Attempted clearance, blocked back off of a Bronco ball. Loose in the 18, and Jolivet is able to get there with players from both sides going to ground. And now time is called for. And that's because one Bronco remained on the ground as a result of that play. And now that player will need to be tended to. Can't get a look clearly at who that is right now from up here. Keep an eye on it. It was Kelly who was involved in the play on the other end for San Diego State. We've seen a couple of injuries for Santa Clara in this match. Remember, Nate Shue was down on the pitch for the Broncos not a minute into the match. He got up and ended up being okay. Hendrik Kuhn was down for a little while for Santa Clara in that second half. Kuhn able to press on. Now looks like Bronco player able to get back to his feet. I believe that's Alejandro Perez for Santa Clara. I know that's Alejandro Barajas for the Broncos. Came up holding, looks like something on the upper body. Might be his left wrist.
Is number 20.
But again, all I'm going off of is reading body language. And without having any concrete information or the benefit of replay, won't speculate as to what might have happened. You can just look down and see, as you might if you were in the stands here, as to what the player's doing as he's coming off. So about 8 minutes to go. With the San Diego State back line, Miles Stray. Couple of passes. Now a little bit of space. Pablo Palice. Going up a man And in almost all cases, the other team is going to take out one of its forwards, especially in a case where you're winning by a goal. This one is slipped on through. Chance here for the Aztecs. Sliding play by Christensen. Cut it out, controlled it, got up and cleared it. Stopped the attack, corralled it, started the Bronco attack. That's some grabbing. That should be a yellow card here. Now, we've got a lot of players in the book tonight, but Matt Clark is not one of them. So one thing we mentioned as far as keeping an eye on in the second half goes was as soon as you see somebody getting a card, check and see who it is, and check and see if they're already on a yellow. Clark was not in this case. And he picks up one here in the 103rd minute of this match. And 7 cards issued overall. The straight red to Badanez Mecho. For San Diego State, Kelly, Chavez, Wenner, and Clark in the book. For Santa Clara, Kuhn and Bravo in the book tonight. Belice. Long pass forward, chested down by Liam Anderson. True freshman starting center back for Cam Rath's side. Osei working in traffic. He's clipped by the feet of Hampus Bergdahl. Free kick here for Santa Clara. The Broncos in a situation where they won't be in any particular hurry to try and press it forward here. But set pieces are something they'll try to take advantage of. Down a man. Hooking ball. Headed down. I think Camille Christensen got a header to it. And San Diego State going to play one aggressively out the back. Trying to get it all the way to a front line and then win a free kick. Alejandro Perez committing the foul against Tevin Rue. And now the clock will be stopped. A little more than 6 minutes to go. There's some frustration from the Santa Clara camp, but that looked to me like a pretty clear-cut foul. I thought that Perez that time had kind of wrapped Rue from the back. So set piece one way, quickly a set piece the other way. Driven ball in, punched away by Jolivet, and that'll be out for a corner. The keeper didn't get it cleanly, but it didn't go in the Bronco net. And now Keegan Kelly will set up to take the corner. That was a pacey ball coming in. They're going to play it to the top of the box. Setting up Belice. A go with the left, and Belice missing high and wide. And Jolivet will have it for a Santa Clara goal kick. Well, that ball off the free kick had some really late dip to it. It stayed on a line for a little while and then just dove down at the last second. So Jolivet was moving to his left, diving left his feet. And as it's diving down, it clips him, bounces under him, and over and out for a corner. And you can't help but see that ball in the air, see the result of that play, and think that's a good one for chasers, somebody to come in and try and poach a goal for the Aztecs. Belice, right through the spine, one flick on. Oh, and they had a guy on the right side that was missed that time. Here's a shot from range, and that one's blocked away. San Diego State still on it here. Left-footed effort, skipped off of Valenzuela. He'll end up with it. Now here's a lifted ball, and that one is headed down, controlled by the Aztecs in the box. Left-footed shots on, and that one is high. Adam Vargas with the effort. Now for a Santa Clara goal kick. Close on a couple of occasions for San Diego State. That one shot came in was deflected off of Valenzuela. It had a little change of direction. And if you're in the Bronco camp, your heart stops for a moment. Those are the kind of ones where the keeper tracking the ball takes that sudden change and sometimes can result in something easy finding its way to the back of the net. And now free kick will come Santa Clara's way, beg your pardon. Foul on San Diego State. 6:16 on the clock. We're playing to 10 minutes. And now we're going to have a conversation on the sideline between the head referee, Jeff Arthurholtz, and the Bronco head coach, Cam Rass. They're talking about the stoppage of the clock here. Which was frozen at 6 minutes and 17 seconds. We have 100 minutes into the books leading up to the second overtime, so we are in the 107th. Curling ball. We got a hit to it. I think that was last out off the Aztecs. No. Last out off of Santa Clara. San Diego State goal kick. Chances continuing to pile up for San Diego State. Good spell of possession for Santa Clara to get the defensive unit a respite. Now win it back here in a good spot with Karuba. Trying to play it on forward. Now the Aztecs stepping through. There's Kelly. What's the point of attack here? Aztecs on the far side. Vargas with it. Turning toward the middle. Couldn't quite control it that time. Broncos clearance goes as far as Weber. Kelly with it. Leaves it off. Police tries to poke it through. I'll get it back to Police here. Stopped over the ball for a second. Now trying to chip it out wide and headed away by Perez. Through pass from Police. Ball into the box here. And Santa Clara able to play it out. And the Broncos will have a free kick. Liam Anderson controlled it and was fouled. As we inch toward the last moments here of the second overtime. A goal for either side wins it. Loads of chances for the Aztecs. 26 shots, 12 on target tonight. But Santa Clara has held its ground. Now here's Karuba for the Broncos. Back onto the left. Attempted cross blocked out of play, so a set piece for Santa Clara. We talked about that earlier. That's big being down a man. That's one way you can neutralize the numbers, at least for the initial part of the set piece that lives in a vacuum. Now, you know the Broncos will be cautious with how many players they send forward here. Eduardo Lopez Perez will get set up to take it. Jose Camacho Soto. Christensen among the Broncos in the box. This one falls down and scooped up by Max Watkin. I think one thing Santa Clara has done pretty effectively is taken the pace out of the game. Kind of controlled the chaos a little bit. And limited the San Diego State chances. Will we see any more of them? In the last 30 seconds of this one, Broncos win a foul, and that is a big one for Santa Clara. Chance to waste some time here. High five from Emil Christensen for Alejandro Perez, who drew the foul. And that will effectively bring this one to an end.
10, 9, 8.
That allowed Santa Clara to take a good 20 seconds off the clock.
4, 3,
as it falls down into the midfield. And we've hit full time here at Stevens Stadium. Result of our match tonight, a 1-1 draw between San Diego State and Santa Clara. Well, the Broncos were playing some good soccer for the first hour plus until the red card against Guillem Badanez Mecho. They go down a man. 45 minutes of playing with 10, surrender 1 goal, and get out of here with a gritty effort for a draw. And I think if you're San Diego State, again, 26 shots, 12 on frame, a couple of big saves from Henning Jolivet off the Santa Clara bench. That's got to be a frustrating result for SDSU. I think the Aztecs will walk out of here thinking we had so many chances, we were a man up, we had the momentum, and unable to capitalize on it. You hear coaches talk so much about having a killer instinct and going for it, and, well, a lot of times it just comes down to execution. And Aztecs knocking at the door time and again, and could not find that second goal here tonight. 26 shots, 12 on target for the Aztecs tonight. 12 shots, 5 on target for Santa Clara. 4 saves in net for Max Watkin, including 1 with just seconds on the second half clock to deny Terrell Smith a double and deny Santa Clara the win in 90 minutes. 5 saves for Guillem Badanez Mecho for Santa Clara, 6 for Henning Jolivet coming off of the bench. The fouls tell a big story in this match too. 24 of them for SDSU and 20 for Santa Clara. 44 in all. And more than a handful of cards to go along with that. 10 Aztec corners to 7 for the Broncos. Santa Clara whistled offside twice to none for San Diego State in that department tonight. 4 yellow cards for the Aztecs. 2 for Santa Clara to go along with a straight red as our match ends in a 1-1 draw. Quick snapshot of the big plays in this one. 15th minute of action, a handball against Santa Clara's Alan Camacho Soto leads to a penalty opportunity for San Diego State, and Pablo Pelaez guessed right, shooting to the right side from the shooter's perspective, but nipped it off the post and back out. So we stayed goalless at that point in the match. And then Santa Clara off of a set piece in the 40th minute. Preston Manthe took a free kick from the right side, maybe 5 yards outside the box. Sakari Carter, falling away from goal, had a really nice header in the area of the penalty spot, sent it on to the far post, and Terrell Smith came flying through and poked it home to give Santa Clara a 1-0 lead. The red card for the Broncos came in the 64th minute. Keeper Guillem Badanez Mecho outside of the 18, trying to get a little too fancy for the Broncos, dribbling on the ball, dispossessed by Lakoa Santos. Santos was on his way to a breakaway, but cut down by Badanez Mecho, who was able to trip him up with the gloves. So he was sent off. Aztecs go up a man, and they're able to capitalize with a 76-minute goal from Keegan Kelly. They kept asking questions of the Broncos defense, and Santa Clara was able to have the answers from that point on, due in part to some great reserve goalkeeping and some big stretch from the 6'4" Henning Jolivet to keep this one knotted up at 1. The other 2 big moments where one of the teams came close to getting goal number 2. Terrell Smith flying down the left side with just seconds to go in the second half, denied by Max Watkin. And then at the end of first overtime, Austin Wenner was 5 yards out, pretty much square up with goal, and put a header wide. That would have given the Aztecs the sudden victory here tonight. After all of that, these 2 teams each end up with their first draw of the season. Both are now 2-2-1 on the year. San Diego State a win and a draw in 2 matches away from home. Broncos have played all 5 at home, so their home record same as the overall record. 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw on the season. Quick look at what is coming up for both of these sides. For the Santa Clara men, 5 straight away from home. They'll head to Utah Valley or to Las Vegas to take on Utah Valley coming up on Thursday of this week, September 19th. And then the entirety of the road swing, UNLV, Lipscomb, Evansville, and Cal State Northridge. Next time the Broncos will be at home Saturday, October 12th against the team of note in the West Coast Conference, the St. Mary's Gales, to open up West Coast Conference play. Big road trip continues for San Diego State after this. They're going to start Pac-12 play. Remember, Pac-12 men's soccer, very small group of teams, only 6 of them in total. San Diego State, UCLA, Cal, Stanford, Washington State, or Washington, beg your pardon, and Oregon State, so they each play each other twice. So Pac-12 action starting out at Washington on Thursday the 19th at 7 o'clock, and then at Oregon State on Sunday, September 22nd. Aztecs will next be at home when they take on Cal on October 10th, followed by Stanford 3 days later on October 13th. Well, a couple of thank yous before we send you on your way. Ben Pearson with San Diego State Sports Information, and Dino Barra, the Santa Clara Sports Information Director, and of course up top to our camera operator, Jake Malore. Not often you get to call a match a thrilling draw, but that's what we saw here tonight. Santa Clara and San Diego State, 1-1 draw after 2 overtimes. Tonight's match has been an exclusive presentation of the WCC Network on Stadium. For more live West Coast Conference broadcast features and information, go to watchstadium.com and the W.TV. Before we get you on your way, we'd be remiss not to tell you about the next Santa Clara soccer broadcast, one of the biggest events of the early season, as Santa Clara women's soccer red hot right now, 11 goals for, none against on a 3-match winning streak. They'll be at Cal tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock, before heading home to take on the Stanford Cardinal. That's Sunday, September 22nd at 7 p.m. And, of course, anytime the Broncos are in action here at Stevens Stadium, you can catch it all right here on the W.TV. I'm David Gentili saying thank you for tuning in, and we will chat with you again next time. For now, it's so long from Santa Clara.